Alrighty, guys, we have a small update to Avengers Doomsday. It feels like we've been getting these updates in very small increments, little drizzles and drops here and there, which, it's better than nothing, I suppose. But, really, we're just looking forward to more full cast announcements. And, yeah, sure, we've gotten some confirmation. Like, apparently, Chris Evans and Haley Atwell are going to be in the film, although Chris Evans denied it, so we'll see. But Robert Downey Jr., I think it's really going to start feeling real once we start seeing set photos and once we know who the cast is, because I think the second we hear or we see Robert Downey Jr. in some kind of costume on the set of Avengers Doomsday, it's just going to start to feel real. Because right now, I'm going to be honest with you, it just doesn't feel real to me right now. And I know that, the Russos are on board, but we've had so many different directions and so many different versions of this movie that I don't know what to expect. So we'll see. But we've gotten a very small update for the film. It was actually kind of buried in an article from The Wrap, which is another one of those reputable sources. I don't usually quote The Wrap that much, but when The Wrap releases something like this, they're generally pretty accurate on this. So they were discussing something about London and productions in London, and they just put in the little nugget that Avengers Doomsday is going to start filming in March of 2025 in London. I believe this comes from The Wrap. I don't actually have the access to the article, but this news has been reported and re-reported from The Wrap from various other news outlets. So it looks like Avengers Doomsday is going to start filming very soon. Now, this is good, actually, for a couple of reasons. Because, number one, there were some reports, and I think even some direct quotes from people involved with the production, that the script hadn't been written, or the script hadn't been finalized for, well into late 2024, even long after they made the announcement of Doomsday and Secret Wars, with the Russo brothers returning. So it was a little concerning, right? Because on the one hand, I was like, well, you're bringing back McFeely, so, it seems like you have a plan here. But then we get reports like the script isn't really finished, or they're still working on it. And even early into 2025, I think the rumors were, they're still working on the script. So if they have a production start date, it means that the script is in a good place, at least. Now, we talked about this before. Marvel is not as shy about this as DC, because, the DCU with James Gunn is now operating on, if you have the finished script, then you're going into production. And if you don't, then you're not going to production. Marvel, again, we've talked about this, has actually a good deal of success in general when they don't have their scripts finished. Doesn't mean that not having a finished script is a good thing inherently. It just means that, well, for Marvel, they've figured out something at the very least to work around it most times. So we'll see about that. But yeah, it just means that, Avengers Doomsday is getting closer. And it also means that I think they have their ducks lined up at this point, because it's February, which means that Avengers Doomsday could be filming within a month. And that means all the stuff that, Benedict Cumberbatch, who didn't know he was Doctor Strange or in Doomsday and then did know he was in Doomsday. Because honestly, that whole, I think it was Vanity Fair that did the original piece where he wasn't in Doomsday, where he said he wasn't in Doomsday. I have a suspicion that was probably recorded or interviewed or whatever they did, written down a while ago, and they just released it recently. I have a feeling that that's the case. I could be wrong about that. And so then when he made the correction, I'm pretty sure he's known for a little bit that he's in Doomsday. If they're going to start filming in March, even if he was going to film for a week in late May, right? He has to know that well in advance, right? And presumably Marvel Studios would have known that, so they would have told him. So I'm sure that he knew, right? I'm sure that he knew at the time of the Vanity Fair piece releasing, and then he just had to figure out a way to tell people. It's like, no, I'm actually in it. So we'll see about that. But yeah, guys, I think this is only good news, because it means that we're getting closer to the 5th Avengers film. And look, I'm not expecting Infinity War. I'm not expecting Endgame, right? I'm expecting more, honestly, if we can get something closer to the first Avengers, where it's like people coming together for the first time, and we're like, wow, this is awesome that people are coming together for the first time, then I'd be really happy with that. So we'll have to see what goes on with Doomsday. Again, I'm still waiting for a full cast list. I think that is really the most important thing to me right now. But yeah, guys, Doomsday is getting closer. What do you guys think about the fact that Avengers Doomsday is apparently filming in a month? In England, it's going to be set to film, and then the film will come out in about a year, which is exciting. Let me know in the comments down below.